My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is January 2nd, 2024. It is 1:08 a.m. It's been maybe an hour and a half. I was searching for tweets to share with you. Before, I had like 6 tweets. Majority of them were funny videos, and I watched that video of mine and I realized there's some videos I didn't include on this part of this video because I can't find them. So I think plus I was running out of time. I just left them, exclude them completely, and I still can't find where I put them. But I was searching on Twitter what to share with you, and I come across some tweets, and I ended up having about 17 tweets. These are the ones I just find, and during the day I realized Pagan Trelawney, which is a very hardcore squatty, I think she was there from the beginning, and she no longer on Twitter. She deactivated her account. So I was searching for a lot of tweets to share with you. There wasn't that many, but I scrambled through. It took me about an hour and a half to come across some, and some of them don't have to do with Harry and Meghan, but I find some stuff to share with you. And even I could feel some shift that's going on right now. It's really hard to pinpoint, but there's a shift that's going on, and I don't know, but I'll still focus on sharing as many positive or very informative information with you guys. I know I have new subscribers, and many of you may not know what I'm all about. Pretty much share with you what's on Twitter. If some of the squads are no longer on Twitter, I have an account with what's the name of that? I forgot the name of it. With Buzzy's social media page, I forgot the name of it, but I probably will go on it to see what some of the squads are talking about at some point. But let's get going. 3,674 subscribers, new subscribers, welcome. All right, so my analytic, not much movement. Oh, it's showing this. Okay, and bar graph, not lined. Okay, let's see, but no, I can't. You know, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Wait a second, there's something that I see that's a bit different here. Estimate revenue, this one is showing $332.30. Why this one here is showing 200 something, $297.30. Okay, that's a huge difference. 297 and 332. But anyway, let's go on Twitter. Alright, so this is one of the tweets, but I have it further down on my list. I don't know where it is on the list, but I have it further down. So let's start with this, because I was having a hard time to find some really good tweets to share with you. Like throughout the holiday, I wasn't really on Twitter, but occasionally I hop on to see what's going on, and when I see something, I take screenshot and share it with you on my community board. So throughout the holiday, just go on my community board, see what I was posting around that time, because I didn't go over them on any videos. So if you saw them on my community board, that's where you will see them. Alright, so this is the first tweet. Monarchy is a very old institution. Meghan Markle arrival would have brought a more modern diversity culture, and Queen loved Meghan Markle, but it was her son Chuck who doesn't like that. I know some of you may disagree with me on that. Charles here. Like I've said in some old videos, I think the first very initial interaction between Meghan and Charles was positive. I think it's someone who put something in his head to make him switch, or maybe they're holding something against him. Okay, but I think it was positive, and then after that it went haywire, and they probably, in my humble opinion, I do not have proof, but they probably threaten him with something and make him continue with this sort of kind of behavior, ignore his sons and his safety and all of that. All right, so that's that. And I would say he's partially right. Okay, Charles should know from right and wrong and make his own decision, and he's a freaking king, and at that time he was the heir to the throne. He should have known and hold his power, but he didn't do that. He go with the scare tactic. So whatever comes to him, that's his problem now. Okay, so this person is partially correct. Okay, but what I've said with this asterisk here, initially I think there was a positive interaction, then someone probably influenced him to switch, and then he go along with that influence. Okay, he done many illegal activities, including removing security behind his mom's back. Queen stopped ruling since Philip's death. Could be. Okay, allegedly, because there was a lot of things that was happening that wasn't right. Yeah. All right, let's read some of this. This is back in 2023, December 20th. New Washington Post CEO accused of Murdoch tabloid hacking cover-up. There's that here by David Folkenflik. High Court to hear Harry bid to rely on secret agreement between Buckingham Palace and a tabloid publisher. Harry alleges he was targeted by journalists and private investigators working for The Sun and now defunct News of the World. All right, so I was looking to see where was this somewhat recent, but when I searched, it was back in July 5th. So that was when he was doing his testimony or something like that for the court. All right, July 5th, 2023. So I searched for that. I thought it was recent, but it's not. But King Charles has decided he needs help from online influencers to boost his popularity with Generation Z. I mean, I realize that. I realize they're hiring influencers. Go back to some of my videos not too long ago. Could have been even in December or November where I sort of mentioned this, especially with that other channel that I saw that was saying during Johnny Depp case, I used to watch it, and then all of a sudden they're switching against Meghan. I'm like, where did that come from? Palace aides have been inviting social media celebrities with millions of fans to come along to royal event as part of a modern digital strategy to increase support among the under 25s. In one video I remember saying, no matter how much these young influencers better be careful. It's almost like they're paying them to destroy their future. They might enjoy the money now, but in the long run, if the institution or anyone of power right now, or who's in the government, who's trying to hold on to power, they might use them now, those social influencers. Those social influencers might enjoy the money now, but in the long run, when they retire age, all right, they won't have, let's say if they are in the US, they won't have social security, okay, to help them supplement for them not working. Okay, this is why social security, it was there. When you pay toward your social security, you're working and all of that. So when you retired, the government supplement that for you. Okay, you pay toward that. It's your money that the government is returning back to you so you could live in a decent and prosperous life before you die. So these social influencers better be careful. Okay, like I said, I did raise that before, so I didn't even know this. I wonder when this was written. So I'm not surprised by this at all. Okay, the recent YouGov, so that was in the UK, poll found just 30% of 18 to 24 years old thought the monarchy was good for Britain. Nah, this YouGov is run by, I believe it's the Three in a Marriages, that guy. So this is BS. Okay, this part here. But if they're hiring social influencers, that's a recipe for disaster for those influencers in the long run. Okay, the influencers are being encouraged to create videos of the event or take pictures to share with their followers. Well, why are they going after Harry and Meghan? Because I've seen some of these videos being recommended to me. I just blocked them. All right. So, like, I think I have someone who mentioned something in my comment section for me to tell Megan some nonsense. I'm like, who am I to tell Megan what to do? She's a freaking grown adult. She's paying her own bills. She's doing her own thing. How am I going to... You think if I have a few moments with Megan, I'll tell her what to do? What kind of nonsense is that? But these influencers, that's all I could say. Just be careful. Stay with your pride and have a core value. Stand for what you believe in. But don't let these people influence you into, saying some nonsense. Because if you're not gonna pay for it now, okay, you might be in a high road right now, enjoying the money that they're giving you. But if you have kids, in the long run, your kids are the one who's gonna pay for your stupidity now. Okay, so there's that. Is there any comment? Okay, he has the proof. When he was teenager, the editor of the Now hired people to follow him. They tried to set him up with fake drug sting. They tricked the Royal family with getting the okay about the drug and rehab story. These people are crazy. No wonder why that woman was saying they want what was the word? To be entertained. They can freaking leave things alone. I mean, of all things, let me pause this. Of all things, these people have, I'm talking about the Royal family, they set up things in a way where the people is giving them their hard-earned, cash to live a lifestyle of luxury. Why can't they just be satisfied with that instead of manufacturing some nonsense to disturb other people? I don't understand this. So this is the next tweet. Okay, an amazing squaddy by the name of Sharon Said shared this incredible clip of Princess Meghan, there's the heart, the woman that she is, introducing the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle. So that's when she was at the Ellen. I may have some video clips here and there about this event. All right, so let's listen.
I think people truly forget that, or don't even know that in this country, it's one of only 6 countries in the entire world and the only wealthy nation in the entire world that does not mandate and have a federal paid leave program. Everyone knows, especially if you've had a child, if you haven't, you know how hard it is and how critical it is in those first few weeks, if not months.
When you look at the US, for instance, some of the thing that's going on in the UK, it's pretty much identical in the US. It's just that when you look back, the way the government have strategized itself to not only confuse or to maybe distract people from real issue that that was going on, especially what was going on in Washington when they're trying to change pretty much democracy in a way. They distract people, so people don't know what's going on. And thank God for Generation Z, who's up to date on all of this stuff, or who's paying attention. This is why they hate the word woke. Not the Generation Z, but the old people. They hate the word woke because Generation Z are paying attention to what's going on. But this stuff, a lot of people fought for them. And then at some point, they realize the best way to distract people, they distract them, and then they start switching things around. Literally, these were done legally to switch these things around. It's just that people were not paying attention to vote for the right people who will put things to their benefit. I mean, to what I would say, 2010, maybe early 2000, 2010 and up, we know all the players that were doing, who were paying, how will I say that, who were paying politicians to do their bidding for them. You have the Koch brothers, you have the family who owns, is it Walmart or something like that? They claim that they are the richest family in the US and all of that. These things are not secret. They were remember Ed Schultz. He passed away. May he rest in peace, because I used to listen to him. He used to have a show. I believe it's either before Rachel Maddows or after Rachel Maddows on MSNBC. I used to watch him. You know, these names, okay, those wealthy people who were paying politicians to switch things, to do their bidding for them. These things were not secret, but people were not paying attention. But anyway, let's continue with this.
To be together as a family, and the fact that we don't offer that here is something that now, as a mom of two, I will do everything that I can to make sure that we can implement that for people.
Pretty much what the institution is doing here, because they can't really relate to people. They can't really be that fluent with people. So they have to hire people to do what Meghan and Harry are doing naturally. And meanwhile, these young influencers, you know, who already have millions of followers, are corrupting, I guess, the people's mind, their followers' mind. And I hope these young people who's watching those influencers pay attention. And parents, okay, maybe my kids are watching these influencers as well. We need to talk to them, okay? We need to talk to our kids to counteract those social influencers. Let them know what's going on in politics. I mean, if you don't teach them, guess who's gonna teach them for you? You know, those influencers who are being paid to corrupt your kid's mind. Okay, because when you look at, for instance, what's going on in Palestine and Middle East, okay, they thought they had the narrative going for them. I mean, may these Palestine people rest in peace, because they killed a lot of them. I've seen them. But the narrative is not going according to the Zionist way, because you have Generation Z are paying attention. They see what's going on. They disagree with it. You have a lot of African American who's against it, and then they're trying to hit back on us for not liking the savagery that they are doing to another group. So in other words, they wanted, in some shape or form, in my humble opinion, for African American to accept the savagery that was being done to Palestine. When we see a wrong, we're saying no. Maybe, okay, let's say Hamas was there. Okay? Let's say Hamas was there. Maybe there was another way of going after them, but not flatten the entire freaking country. Don't care who's in the buildings, whether Hamas is there or kids or babies or pregnant women, none of that. They didn't care about any of that. You flatten the freaking country. And you expect people to go along with that? Okay, so they going after influencers to corrupt other people's mind, because we're not buying what they're selling us. Alright, so that's that. And then there's other, I remember a while back I was looking at a statistic that was put out there, and they were comparing the US with other European countries. And yeah, the US is like last on many other social issues, but then you have idiots who's putting nonsense in their head. You know, let me leave that alone, because there's so much to go by, you know. So they're trying to copy what Harry and Meghan are doing naturally, but paying people to do it in a way, the opposite way, for those other influencers to somewhat highlight the monarchy in a way. But those influencers better be careful. That's all I'm saying. Better be careful, because their kids will pay for what they're doing right now in a harsh way. Right now, those influencers are getting paid. Money is being put in their pocket to enjoy a lifestyle of luxury. But in the long run, their kids or great grandkids might suffer the consequences of their action. There's a video that I came across, actually. Maybe I should put it after it because of the conversation that arrived with this video here. Let me pause and look for it so I make sure I have it next. I almost start recording without even press the button to record. Alright, so let me read these comments and then move on. Okay, Princess Henry of Sussex, but she chooses not to use that title, does she? Neither Countess of Dunbarton. She chooses Duchess of Sussex, yet she hasn't even visited that part of the country and met its people. That's up to Harry, okay? So leave her alone the way she I don't even think Meghan call herself Duchess. It's other people who address her by that. Okay, I try to understand your point. She's my princess. That's what I refer to her as. And if you have a problem, you can simply block and delete. It's really that simple. I know. These people don't. They all into our conversation and then they expect us to do what they say. I mean, what kind of a freaking mindset these people have? Alright, remind us how many days she has spent away from her. Oh my Lord. From her children this year, gallivanting around, taunting. Oh my God, gallivanting around, taunting for attention. Oh Lord. Okay, and you know this how? What was it during the Invictus? Harry went first, obviously, because that's his thing and all of that. But Meghan went a couple days later because at that time, I believe school was gonna start, and she wanted to make sure things were set up in a way for the kids to go to school. And then later on during the summer, was it the summer vacation or not too long ago, I learned they were somewhere in South America and there were pictures of them with the kids. We did not see the kids' face, but we see the back of or the profile of Lily and maybe a little bit of Archie on a golf cart. And I think if you look close to the picture, you'll see Archie's leg or something like that. We do not know. We do not know how they live their life. What we should focus on is what Harry wants to show us, and then we highlight it and we support them on that. What they do privately is none of our business. If they share it with us like they did in the docu-series, hey, that's wonderful. We get to see them. Okay, so it's not our job to dictate to them how to run their life. Okay, because I'm not paying their 16 bathroom for them. Okay, I'm not the one who's paying their taxes. So I have no say on how or if they show their kids or not. It's none of our business. And these people need to learn that. Okay, so let's leave this alone. So I said, while I searched for that video or that tweet that I wanted to include after the other one, I came across another one and I put it right after it. All right, so come on. Okay, there it is here. All right, so we were talking about the fighting in terms of policies. You know, we're fighting for our right and things like that. Okay, on my last tweet I was mentioning this, and this is the video that came to mind. A reminder for 2024. All right, so this person, this old lady, is only 15 seconds. Let's listen.
Remember, if I'm still here.
Oh my God, I'll be let's start all over, because okay, since I interrupted, but I was looking at her image here. My goodness, she was stunning. This is what time does to people. She was arrested for fighting for rights. All right, so let's listen. And she still looks stunning at her age. This is what happened when people let nature take its thing naturally. Wow, she's still beautiful. Let's listen.
Remember, if I'm still here, the people who fought against us are still here too. So the work is not yet done.
Yeah. So this is what came to mind. I came across it while searching, and I thought it was perfect to share that with you. We're still fighting. The U.S. is on life support right now. I've been saying this since after the 2020 election. We made it through, but the next election, 2024, and it's really the deal breaker because Trump and all these people, we all know the key players. We know the key players. So we have a choice to make and do the right thing for the future. All right, so this is a reminder for all of us. All right, let me read some of the comments here. 63 years ago, when she got arrested in that diner, one of the most disgusting pictures in American history. And the other thing as well, they do not want, the U.S. in particular, and I think the UK as well, they do not want to teach history. What's going on in Florida is very disturbing. Very, very disturbing when it comes to teaching people's history and stuff like that. Instead, they're switching things up. They already wrote, in my humble opinion, or they probably go through every timeline and see how things went, and then they create that narrative to sort of entertain people, like Bojo's sister said. All right, they're switching things up, create their own narrative of how the thing happened, because they don't want their kids to know how of a monster that they were. Okay, and they're still trying. They're not trying to learn and change, but instead they continue their nonsense, and then as they continue their nonsense, they're switching. Okay, switching the way it happened, so people don't remember. Like I said, it doesn't take too long to really change a generation. As I was saying, how of a monster that they are, I'm thinking of a Twitter. Is it Twitter or TikToker? I have the video who was saying how of a monster these people are.
I understand why white men are voting, because white men are voting for their own better interest, which is keeping power, patriarchy. It makes sense. But why the fuck do a white woman think that she even has a motherfucking say? If she's constantly voting for a white man who's telling her that you don't have agency over your own fucking body. And the reason why y'all don't want to teach critical race theory is not about what's going on in the past, it's what's going on in the present. The thing that's confusing me is how the fuck you hide what's in motherfucking plain sight. We see your lily white racist ass through the motherfucking window. Hi, I'm Carolyn, and I want you blackies to know that niggers in this neighborhood have curfew. Okay, so when the street lights come on, make sure you're in your home, because if you're hanging, you will be swinging. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. The real reason why these white people don't want their kids to learn about critical race theory is because they don't want their kids to grow up knowing that their parents are monsters. Every fucking day, you guys wake up early in the motherfucking morning, look yourself in the mirror, and you know you ain't shit.
All right. You and I were born shortly after this in our lifetime. All right, so that's an ad. Now they're trying to bring those days back. Beautiful. The righteous stay alive longer. I hope. She's one I sold. All right, so let's go to the other one that I sort of switched the Megan thing after what I was talking about with the Ellen show. So this is another video that I came across, and I thought it was worth mentioning to you. Okay, this is a clear and concise explanation. This, all right. That's another TikTok video. There's no comment on this. This is a different topic here. Let me go into that. Let's pause. Okay, so there's only one comment. So let's listen to her and see what she says.
Points as their own, and thus use their race as a cleansing agent of sorts to help you avoid any accusations of racism. It's essentially blackfishing with consent. This can happen in a couple of ways. It can be self-directed. A black or brown person who sincerely subscribes to conservative ideals can be targeted by right-wing media outlets or political organizations to be...
Okay, that is making reference to influencers. Similar to the other one that I was talking about, where they're paying the palace or whatever, paying influencers to attract young people. All right, so this is happening in the black community because it seems like they cannot convince a good portion of black Americans. So the few that's already drank the Kool-Aid, who have a social following, they're paying them to help influence the rest of us. Okay, so we need to pay very close attention. This is why my channel is not doing that well. I don't expect anybody to believe what I say. I actually want you to think. That's all. Just think for yourself. Many of you are very bright people, but just think of the things that is being putting out there. They're not literally coming out and tell you things, but we have to be mindful and learn to read between the line. I'm not saying I'm perfect. Maybe many times I fall in the crack as well and fall for their nonsense, but at least, you know, I'm sharing what I'm aware of. Okay, so let's continue. Listen. So she's making reference to influencing. Okay, so the black conservatives who drank their Kool-Aids, now they, I guess, paying them or convincing them to influence the rest of black Americans. Okay, so this is what she's making reference to. Let's start all over. I'm sorry.
Points as their own and thus use their race as a cleansing agent of sorts to help you avoid any accusations of racism. It's essentially blackfishing with consent. This can happen in a couple of ways. It can be self-directed. A black or brown person who sincerely subscribes to conservative ideals can be targeted by right-wing media outlets or political organizations to become a mouthpiece for their white supremacist views. These ultra-right-wing outlets will incentivize a person of color to spew racist ideals in service of their agenda. Or it can happen in a more surreptitious way. A scandal at a popular UK paper, the Daily Mail, has exposed an even more sinister form of this practice. Conservative writer Dominique Samuels recently outed the paper for offering to pay her for a, quote, ghost-written, negative, verging on racist piece, which she turned down because it apparently went a bit too far this time. When a commenter asked her about whether
She said this time, so which means there have been other times where she was okay with it. That's very sad though, very sad.
another piece that she had supposedly written that attempted to downplay racism against Meghan Markle was also ghostwritten, she simply responded, yeah, it was. Commenters who are familiar with the Daily Mail's content immediately started to question how far-reaching the practice was, considering that the Daily Mail regularly publishes content by several black conservative writers. This racism laundering seems to play into a larger phenomenon of influence peddling that seems to be much more common than it used to be. The practice of black and brown talking heads, commentators, politicians, and operatives essentially selling their minority status to the highest bidder. I'm sure
She hit it right on the head. Exactly. Okay?
they see it as a winning strategy. You announce yourself as being amenable to discussing issues from a decidedly conservative, even borderline racist point of view, and you instantly become a hot commodity to the right. They're always in need of black and brown voices to communicate messaging that might come off as racist if it were known to be coming from a white person. And there's the added benefit of pulling more black and brown people into the fold by showing them someone who looks like them, who thumbs their nose in the face of the liberal left. They now get to be the mavericks, the elite, the chosen few who really get it. Racism laundering may not always happen as blatantly as it did with the Daily Mail, but the practice is alive and well. Once you're aware of it, you'll start to recognize the earmarks of it, and hopefully you'll begin to question some of the messaging coming from black and brown people that's meant to normalize white supremacy. Hey DC, I can't wait to see you on the 15th of October.
I wish if I was on TikTok, this is someone I will follow. All right. I like the term racism laundering, and I'm glad that she called that racist UK tabloid out. Yeah, okay, so these are the things that I came across and I thought I'd share with you. All right, so there's another one here, hate for hire. All right, I guess some of you may not like this video because I'm not really talking too much about the Sussexes. Okay, so there's this here, hate for hire. I present you a real-life royalist psycho, Tom Syke, at a royalist who is literally obsessed with Harry. He pumps out more than 10 articles in a day, 25 negative articles in the last 7 days on Harry. He can't write anything but about Harry. Hate for hire journalism. Journalist Sussex squad. It's up to us who haven't fallen into that Kool-Aid psychotic mindset to push back. I mean, this is the thing. They do not want to change. That we should know for a fact. Okay, the rest who are not racist, who wants to integrate with the rest of society and live a life of fruitful, peacefully, or whatever, we already know this is a fact. Racist, especially white, there are racists in every other groups, but I'm talking about white racists. They are not willing to change. This is a fact. They do not want to change. However, based on other people, like the video that I just showed you, as time change, people change, things evolve, so they watch very careful how things, society is evolving, so they could maintain their status as is, and they find ways. I don't know, they're really masterful of that. They find ways to they do not want to change, but as time change, they find ways. They work really hard at integrating in a way to still keep their status as is. Now we're finding out they're paying social influencers to convince influencers to like them or something like that. And we just hear that video where now they also paying black and brown influencers to spread their narrative, to make it normal. Okay, so they want their behavior to be normalized, but a lot of people don't like that. We're saying no. If you want to be whatever you want to be, do it in your corner. Go stay at your house and do whatever you want, but let people, if you're inviting an outsider into yours, let people know what you're all about so they could make a choice. Okay, so they're creating articles non-stop about Harry and Meghan. This is not news. Okay, we know that, and we've learned about that. And we have to say thank you for Harry and Meghan's union, because many of us, we just let this slide. Like me, for instance. Okay, I wasn't paying attention to them at all. I know they existed, but I didn't care. But once they got together, at least for me, I was happy for Meghan to see she into that influential family that I thought. And then later on, I find out they're worse than garbage. I mean, I hate to say that, but the lifestyle that they live in, okay, sleeping around, do things with children and all of that, this is nasty. This is pure nasty. Okay, they enlighten a good portion of majority of the world to say, no, this is not right. Okay, let me read this and move on. Okay, gosh, he is even more hungry than stalking freak Piers Morgan. But again, I always knew that the UK media industry is a billion-dollar hate industry run by the master Murdoch and Wathamer, and they also in charge of monarchy and deal of saving them by preaching to us false news. My goodness. Phew, watch out, royalist. Who is royalist? Oh, so that's him. Okay. We have completely run out of patience with haters. Stop or face serious consequences. Sussex squad, we need to track and trace, keep receipt, and be ready to drag. I simply want just what it is about Harry, and to a slightly lesser extent Meghan, with which certain people are so obsessed that they publish so much hate and poison. More women, and we know why, but Harry, but let's see here. Okay, let's go into it. Okay, how can someone hate people they don't know? Because they believe the hatred spread by the palace to the media, and because a lot of women are so jealous of her. She is beautiful, talented, and intelligent. Then there is the fact that the most eligible bachelor on the planet has been pinched, and they are happy. The thing is that, okay, they want to maintain their status, the royal family. Okay, and then Harry, who was the scapegoat for them, okay, if you look back, I would say since Princess Diana died, okay, all the negative stories about Harry, so that was a scapegoat for the rest of the other family. And when Meghan got into the picture, now they tried to drag Meghan into it. If you look back in 2020, I would say 2018, 2019, around this time, she didn't stay that long over there, but you could see it was playing in real life to us. Andrew, who had issues in the US with Virginia Giuffre, we see the non-stop of negative coverage after negative coverage about Meghan. Meanwhile, Meghan wasn't doing anything. Okay, so it plays out for us to see completely, like night and day. We could see why they were doing some of the things that they were doing, and then we could follow through and see this is their tactic. All right, so Harry and Meghan are not there to cover for their nonsense, so they want him back so they could continue that nonsense. All right, that's that. He looks deranged, looks like the creepy guy in the dark alley that you do everything to avoid. All right, so let's go to the next tweet. All right, so these were what I just shared with you is things that I switched up a little bit after I mentioned something in the Ellen video. So now we are back into somewhat. I have 2 more tweets regarding Harry and Meghan, and then the other ones 2, 4, 5 tweets regarding Pagan Trelawney, who left Twitter. Okay, next tweet. They have a firm and a royal couple that don't bring in the money, and the only Pope Prince Harry and Marco that brings in the money throws them completely out. All they had to do, okay, the royal rats, when Harry and Meghan were over there, all they had to do was report what Harry and Meghan were doing. And the other one who were jealous for the work that Harry and Meghan were doing, all they had to do is put head with Harry and Meghan. And Harry more than happy to let them tag along, and all the other ones had to do is cut ribbons. Okay? But instead, they went after the hate. They want everything, they're gonna end up with nothing. Okay, meaning the left behind royals. Okay, they know nothing about Harry and Meghan. Nobody in the Sussex team is leaking. The British media have no access to Harry and Meghan. A minute and 15 seconds. I don't know if there's a music in it. Let's see here.
Feeling frightened.
Yeah, there's a music in it. So when I'm playing it, I'll fast forward it. But since I start playing it, I might as well finish it. But I'll fast forward it a little bit. Between Harry and the spouses of Harry and the other brother, is that not only Meghan was already self-made, the other one pretty much, I said it in my last video, I think she molded herself in a way where she thinks she's being what the other one wants. Meanwhile, the guy, I'm talking about William, always have whatever he wants, and he never satisfied. Once he's done with something, he switched to the next one. There was never a limit for him. So the wife that he chose, I think, is out of convenience because nobody wanted him. So he had to produce, so he uses her to produce, and then he's done, in my humble opinion. So let me read. So let's read this. Okay, them and their children, all they are left with in 2024 is repeating old stories, repeating spares and imaginations from old fossils and royal expert that knows nothing about Harry and Meghan. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle left them in the UK with nothing. There's the laugh. All right. So there's this here. This royal couple is most valuable, surpassing the likes of Beyonce and Jay-Z and J-Lo and Ben Affleck. A new study has found the value in news items and media clicks different couples generate. Harry and Meghan, most newsworthy couple, as public interest double that of Kate and Wills. And that other tweet that I was reading, where the guy is writing negative stories about Harry and Meghan, sad to say, but at the same time, people are still clicking on their nonsense. Okay, according to a survey, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are writing about more and generate more online traffic than their royal counterparts, by Catherine Myers, Funnels reported. When was that? August 2023. When you purchase through links on our site, okay, so that's something else. This royal couple is most valuable, surpassing the likes. Okay, it's repeating from one of the thing I was reading. The full list of celebrity couple and the estimated value includes Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, £1.1 million, Beyonce and Jay-Z. I think I read this a while back. I don't think so. Okay, I don't think so with those figures here. Because Beyonce and Jay-Z have been in the game for a very long time. And they have accumulated a lot of money through the years of doing their music individually and now as a couple. Nah, they surpassed Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan just got into the game. When Meghan married Harry, based on what they said, her value was, I think, 5 to 10 million, I think, Meghan. And Harry, really, his family, his father is the one who was rich, not Harry. And you see, when he left the institution, he only left with his mother's money. Okay, so this figure, I don't think it's correct. Okay, whatever and which figure they put it, but Beyonce and Jay-Z, I think, will be first. What else? Ben Affleck, let me see. Okay, full list of celebrity couple and the estimate value includes, okay, Prince William and Kate Middleton. Yeah, this is, I don't, you could pause your screen and read that, but I think these are very low. Even Justin Bieber, 423,000 pounds plus. Will Smith, nah, these not, I don't know where they get these figures, but this is wrong. Okay, I don't know what are they basing their figures with, but I don't know. These people are much richer than Harry and Meghan. Maybe now, you know, as they get the hang of things, they building their profile, they investing. I'm talking about Harry and Meghan. Now they're growing their value, but I don't know. Okay, I disagree with this number. Thing, nien, zero, no. Okay, same. All right, so let's go to the next tweet. Again, I believe this is with Harry and Meghan. Yeah. Okay, how Harry and Meghan's existence exposed Windsor's mediocrity, easily overshadowed. Yeah, I mean, their union really highlight the nonsense that was going on. It awakened a lot of people. Okay, Harry much more. Okay, so that's her name on the on Twitter profile. Harry could have said so much more. Okay, so there's that, pictures. Oh, so that was it with that. She put a link of something. I don't want to read links. Next tweet. Now to the pagan Trelawney. I will read the screenshot that the first tweet of it mentioned these, and then the next few tweets that I have about pagan Trelawney share the same screenshots. Okay, so I'm not gonna read them again. For those wondering why the pagan Trelawney, that's her profile thing here on Twitter, account is no longer there. While pagan Trelawney will be missed, there's the crying face, is a lovely farewell message, and it's true that heaven a much better place than they were 4 years ago. Meanwhile, this app is not quiet. Also, let's read that Harry and Meghan supporters can and do exist outside this app. Okay, so let's read this. Okay, I never imagined I one day be a person with a Twitter account, and here I am 5 years later and 33,000 followers, and she's laughing. Even me, I was on Twitter since 2009, I think. I created the account, never interact in it. It was until I believe 2018 or 2019 that I decided to hop on Twitter. I didn't even remember my password. Okay, I had to do all those checkpoint things on Twitter to get my to get back into my account, because the hate and the campaign against Harry and Meghan, especially Meghan, was too much. And I had to see who else was going through the same thing. And I know the only place to go to is Twitter. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, and I'm here. I am 5 years later and 33,000 followers, and there's a laugh. They say a lady knows when it's time to leave a party, and the first day of this new year is my time. That I'm not going to miss Twitter. Continue. All right. Since Apartheid Clyde took over racism. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. Apartheid Clyde. So that's the new owner. Believe I have a reason why he purchased Twitter, and then it evolved to something else. Since I don't have proof, I'm not gonna say why. Okay, let's just say there's a small connection with JD. Okay, to give. Alright, but let's continue. Since Apartheid Clyde took over racism, bigotry and toxicity are on the rise, and the app is genuinely unsafe, so I'm genuinely amazed I made it this far. Only one thing that has kept me coming back, and that is amazing Sussex Squad. The most amazing, generous, hilarious, brilliant, formidable, and passionate women and men I've ever had the privilege to know. Thank you to you that took the time to engage with me on this hell app. What I've given you all is immeasurable. But my social media experiment is at an end, and I'm living with my heart. We've all come such a long way, and so have the couple We all came together today. They are parents to 4 children, owners of a fabulous. So that's Harry and Meghan. They're successful philanthropists, New York Times best-selling authors, Guinness World Record holders, savvy investors, producers, and most importantly, peaceful under a tree. So there couldn't be a moment to step back. I won't say goodbye. We'll all surely meet again. So instead, I say bientôt. I think I pronounced it correctly. Until our next meet up to the beautiful tree. Okay, so there's that here home that we have always wanted. All right, so there's that. So she deactivated her account. Okay, so I'm not gonna read that again. There's a lot of retweet with different caption. That's why I put about 4 of them, and then I'll just read the caption. If there are some comments under them, I'll read. Okay, so she tagged a whole bunch of other people. Jone, okay, we're the first Sussex Squad account I follow. So losing someone vital like Pagan feels like I've lost a family member. Godspeed, Pagan. Okay, respect to her. She is brilliant and dealt with those awful derangers with expert ease. She will be missed around here for sure. All right, thank you for posting the full message. As always, the lady said what she said and said it perfectly. Good luck to Pagan and a happy new year to the Sussex Squad. She's right, our faves are in a better place, happy, thriving, and no worries or concern about anything. Personally, I'm blacking all the nonsense this year. Already Black GB News, more to black. No need for back and forth. Looking forward to new projects Meghan was talking about. And for me, this is the thing. I don't follow a lot of people. I can't believe I'm able to create videos for you almost every day. Throughout the holiday, I took a step back. I didn't create videos. I just relaxed. Like around this time last week, I was still up. I was watching TV because usually my internal clock, I'm here recording, but I just tune off. And when I do tune in, I just check just to see what's going on. When I come across something okay to check, and I take the screenshot and share it with you. But I don't follow all these crazy people. We have to know when to take step back and when to engage. All right, so Pagan Trelawney feel this is the time for her to step back, and she did what's best for her. All right, so there's that here. Oh, missing her already. And she's right about our faves. Parents to 2 beautiful children, owner of a fabulous California home, successful philanthropist, New York Times best-selling authors, Guinness World Record holders, smart investors, producers, and best of all, they at peace. They are at peace. All right, so let's go to the next tweet. Again, it's making reference to Pagan leaving. There's this here. That's another retweet. Sussex Squad going to miss Pagan on this app. But I know she's still gonna be somewhere fighting for Harry and Meghan. The mission continues. Okay, so there's that here. Okay, we can see her unspottable. That's the one I was looking for. I'm there already. I have an account. Oh my god, it took me a while to really have an account to be accepted in there, but I haven't been engaging that much. So I need to go back and maybe one day just go there and grab some tweets to share or some spottable to share with you. That's what I was thinking about with Buzzy. I can't remember the name of his social media. Okay, spottable. There's the live mission. What? Okay, so there they are. They're showing you coming on it to show your face. Let's go here. Just black. Okay, so there's that. Time for blacking. Black. Alright, so this is how I keep myself peaceful under my little tree. Alright, next one. Harry and Meghan are not even on social media. We want to know what we need to know about them. Just go on their website. Alright, so there's that. I hope this is not the end of how the new year will be. I'm so sad to read this. Pagan was one of the first to follow me back. Though we never met, I felt she was a friend. You'll genuinely be missed, Pagan. You were of the integrity of the Sussex Squad. Okay, alright, so there's the retweet again. Same here. I'm stunned at how deeply I feel. That just goes to show the Twitter family of good people who fight together for Harry and Meghan I wish her so much love and hope and visit at least and let us know how she is getting on. There's one person I haven't seen in a while. Something Nugent, and what's the other one? Is it Vanessa? Vanessa, and there's another one. I know she is either medical school right now. She had one not too long ago, and then after that she stepped back. She let us know she finished something in her schooling. She's doing something else, but occasionally she had one. She was so freaking funny on Twitter, but she's busy right now with her personal life. Okay, I understand she went to Spottable, maybe one. Okay, that's that. Alright, so let's go to the next one. Another tweet that making reference to that, to Pagan, and then I think that will be the last one. Okay, I'm almost an hour. Was on a high celebrating reading the new year. Now I'm on a low after reading this. Gonna miss you, Pagan. Okay, so that's the same retweet again. Okay, the rest of Pagan's tweet, there's a link to it. Okay, on the bright side, she did an amazing job for 5 years successfully defending Harry and Meghan. I'm sure she'll always be a defender in some way. Whatever her new adventure is, she'll love member of Sussex Squad. The mission continues. Love always wins. Sussex Squad forever. Definitely the mission continues. Okay, so let's go to the next one. This one, I'm just bringing it slightly. The link will be in the description, and I also have it on my community board already. So this is the list of Epstein flight log. All right, I think there's about 117 or 118 pages. Okay, breaking Donald Trump on Epstein Island flight logs. All right, so let me click on it to grab the link again. All right, so they're very small. The pages are very small, and you have to look very deep, close. Yeah, 118 pages. Okay, so all the names, the flights of people who flew. Okay, so that's that. Okay, I'm not gonna go through all of this. I just wanted to share that with you. All right, if you want to look to the log, the list that I just shared with you, I'll put the link. Okay, it's in the description. Next one, TikTok versus Israel. Okay, so there's this here. These young people give me hope that the world isn't all bad. Gaza. All right, so let's listen to this. Oh my God, it's 6 minutes and 16 seconds. All right, let's listen.
I have a question for the people who are saying if they just kill all of Hamas, this will be over. If the Palestinians gave Hamas up, this would be over. This will be over as soon as they get rid of Hamas. I have a question for you. And hi, I'm Jewish. I analyze Israeli rhetoric where I can. I have a question. Of these two groups of people I'm about to describe, who do you think would be more likely if a terrorist walked up to that group? We'll have more people go, yeah, sure, I'll join. A group of people who have a job, a life, a house, wife and kids, maybe. You know, they can go to the doctor when they need to. They definitely have food and water. Or a group of people whose neighborhood was just flattened. All the water they try to drink is contaminated with chemicals and bombs, dust. Their family is dead. They've been relocated to refugee camp. They definitely don't have a job anymore. If someone walked up to those two groups of people and was like, we can fight this, even if they were super vague and didn't even say it was violence that they were going to do. We can fight this. We can stop this. Who do you think is more likely to join? Because I think it's the people who have nothing left to live for. I don't think anybody would look at me and say the first group would be more likely to join. And, oh, what's that? Studies, scientific studies showing that that's true. So showing that, oh, NCBI, National Library of Medicine, Social Determinants of Health and Violent Radicalization. Oh, the Psychology of Terrorism Initiative saying that the creations of ethno-states and marginalizing certain ethnic groups will be more likely to radicalize those groups. So, wait, what's the cause of terrorism? Is it that those people are violent, terrible people who just want to hurt others the way they portray Hamas? Or is it that a bigger oppressing group pushed them and took away more and more of their rights and their liberties and their access to a normal life, pushed them until a couple of those people snap and lash out violently. And then they can turn around and say, oh my God, see, they're violent. They're terrible people. They need to be controlled. We need to keep them here. We can't let them have this. We can't let them leave. We need to make sure that they're away from us because they're all evil. When it was the violence that they did to them that pushed them to that point. Do you think Israel doesn't know this? I want you to think about it.
one of the things that I've said in some of my podcasts that I regret for not sharing with you is I saw the instigation early last year, around this time, I would say, maybe a little bit, maybe, let's say couple weeks into the new year, maybe in February of last year. Okay, you see the instigation of Israel instigating Palestinians. You see people sitting down, just at a shop, just relaxing. You see those people in black suit just literally walk up to them and poke them, breaking storefront, walk into a store and just destroy it. You have young people sitting around that huge mask, and then you see those, again, the same group type of people with dark clothes, like jumpsuit kind of thing, pushing those young teenagers who were just sitting around, hanging out with their friends, look at the phone and all of that. Poke them, push them. And it was a constant. Every now and then I was coming across these videos over and over, and they were instigating them, making them upset to react so they could have a reason. The Israel could have a reason to attack them. When they realized they were not Palestinian, were not retaliating, so they create their own thing and then blame it on Palestine. This is the way that I see it. And then later on, after they flatten Palestine, you coming across videos where you're hearing, I think, I don't have that video. I think Israeli soldier who's saying it was a mistake that they bombed that party and things like that. And he's like, oh, it's okay. They'll blame it on Palestine anyway. Carelessly. Not even think, even the Jews that accidentally bombed, to just say, oh, they blame it on Palestine. I mean, what kind of... All right, so let's finish. Listen, the whole point of me saying this is just that they instigate Palestine, but Palestine did not react, so they create their own thing. All right, so let's continue. Listen.
Do you think that Israel doesn't have access to these studies? That Israel doesn't know what causes terrorism? That it's the lack of civil rights? Do you? I think they know. I think it goes hand in hand with them funding Hamas in the first place. I think they need a villain. Because it's a lot easier to justify keeping a group of people in a concentration camp if you say, well, there's some of those people are bad, we can't let them out, than it is if they were just living their lives. It's a lot easier to justify going in with soldiers and hurting them if you say some of them are bad. Especially if you made some of them bad. Which means that every time you go in and hurt them more of them snap. Because they have nothing else to turn to. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that for doing the violence first? I also want you to think about the fact that even before this bombing, Gaza had rampant structural violence issues. Structural violence is something like, I'll just give you an example, like, oh, we can't let you have this treatment from this hospital because you need this ID and these documents. But then it's almost impossible to get those ID and those documents, which means that it's not a person hurting you or killing you and doing the violence, it's the rules that are hurting people and killing people. In Gaza, before the bombing, people were rationing.
This is why a lot of African Americans understand Palestine and standing up for Palestine, and not just African American. Okay, there's other groups who sympathize with Palestine. When you look at the rest of the world and the marches, the protests, and Ireland, there's one video that I have of this politician in Ireland who spoke the truth, who spoke reality. All right, but let's continue.
Water, because Israel didn't let them have enough water. The hospitals couldn't take everyone. You know, sometimes there's things that those hospitals couldn't treat, so they'd have to be on a wait list to get into an Israeli hospital, and they would die on those wait lists. That's structural violence. That's, well, the rules are you need to do this and wait and get into an Israeli hospital this way. You're going to die if you don't.
You know, this is an opinion here. To tell you the truth, in some shape or form, yes, you will find very few will agree with that particular group, but the majority, or Zionists, I think they call them, who create that war, I don't really think they are truly Jews. Okay, they pretend they are, but they, in other words, they hijack the Jewish name, sort of, for them to continue their nonsense. Meanwhile, I think it's two other groups outside of it who hijack it and use the Jewish name, because we know what the Jews went through, Holocaust and all of that. It's for people to sympathize with them. But I truly don't think they are Jewish. This is my humble opinion. Okay? So I don't expect anybody to agree with me, because any Jews who went through, who understand their history, who know what their forefathers went through in Germany, there's no way they will advocate for that. Again, there will be very few, okay? Very few who will jump on the bandwagon, who can easily be influenced to join that group of Zionist type of thing. But the majority of them, the creation of that, I really don't think they are truly Jewish. Okay, so again, that's my opinion. Let's continue.
That's structural violence everywhere in Gaza, in America too. You'll recognize that in the American healthcare system, absolutely. And it is violence. It hurts and kills people. That's violence. It's called structural violence for a reason.
Look how, based on the healthcare thing that she's bringing, look what happened when President Obama made the ACA. They were against it. They were trying to destroy it. And one of the things that I said, what's more important than anything? This is the very first thing President Obama tackled. Your health. Without your health, you're nothing. Okay? Without your health, you're nothing. But they made sure they want to destroy that. And they try. Okay? But let's continue.
Reason. So I want you to think about that fact. I want you to think about the fact that Israel definitely knows that its actions of taking away their civil rights, of shoving them in this place, of making sure they don't have water and food, of making sure that everyone has a relative who's died because they couldn't get into a hospital and get medical care. They know that those people are more likely to snap. And once they snap, it's, see, they hurt me. They hurt me. They did violence against me. I'm the victim here. When it was them who pushed them to do it.
Okay? The instigating also.
Israel knows this because they need a villain.
The thing is that, again, like I said, the Zionists, I don't think they truly are true Jews. They're after something bigger. So they really don't care about that. About the well-being of pretty much anybody. They even go after their own Jewish citizens in Israel. Okay, you against them? There's a video that I saw not too long ago. There was some Jewish with their Jewish flag who were protesting against the violence that was going on. The police shoot water cannon on them. Okay, because they were against what the Zionist propaganda was advocating for. Okay, so they shoot them with not with guns but with water. I just think back in the 60s what they did to African American, that type of things. They hose them down.
Think about it. Do you truly, honestly believe that carpet bombing all of Gaza without actually targeting any terrorist groups and making sure that civilians are feeling the worst of these effects, what do you think that's going to do? Don't you think that if Israel can keep saying, oh, but Hamas is in there, they can keep bombing it until they get all of it, until they take all the land they wanted to begin with? Don't you think so? Because to me, that seems like a very convenient excuse. We push these people, we are violent to them until they're violent back to us. And once they're violent back to us, we keep just hurting them so that more of them keep snapping and being violent to us, so we can keep saying, see, they're bad, and we can just keep hurting them. Whose fault is that? Do you think that if someone said we can change this, without saying that it was going to be bombs or rockets, just we can change this, would you not join them? Not every single one of those people is literally firing rockets. If all your family was dead, think about it. Just think about it. Israel knows what it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
It wants its villain. It needs to be the victim. And please call your representatives. Please, what's happening is more and more horrific by the day. And don't look away.
This is why it takes one voice at a time. And she says she's Jewish. Alright? against that. All right, so I'm done with all of the serious things. Oh my God, I'm not gonna read the comments. I'm already late. Not late, too far in. So, okay, I need to pause. Now I have 3 videos that are just funny. I'm not. Was there music on this? I don't remember. But this is so freaking funny. She knows all the move of that. I think it's called White Chicks by the Wayne brothers. She knows all the move. It's so funny. Okay, she knew every move. I can't breathe. There's a laugh here. Ate this the F up without even looking back at the TV. Alright, so let's watch 45 seconds.
And 6, 7, 8. Hey, hey, ha, ha, ha. Hey, hey. Now she know all. Now she got it. Let's go, Deja. Let's go.
Oh my Lord, this is so funny.
I'm dying. Hey.
I have to let it play. I can't put screenshot, otherwise you're gonna miss everything. But anyway, I'm not gonna go to the comments. Oh, I think there was more. Shit. Okay, when I'm editing this, I have to switch it around because it's like sideways. But let's watch. There's another part. 56 seconds. Oh my Lord. Shit, it's funny.
Wait, now you got break dance. Now you got break dance. I know you hookers don't think this is over with. Yes.
She must have watched this movie so many times. Oh my Lord.
Watch it do my thing. Watch it do my thing. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah.
She's so funny. Oh my Lord.
What you know this whole thing? Yo.
She's not even looking back.
Hey, get that.
This is funny. Okay, cause why the F do she knows the both parts? Okay, so let me go to the other one. That's another LOL kind of video. Oh. 32 seconds. Yep, how I feel toward the UK royal family. 32 seconds. I think this is old. I might have shared this a long time ago, but here it is again.
We hand over our hard-earned tax dollars to these people, and then we go out and line the streets and watch them spend it, and instead of rioting, we just stand there and wave flags at them, fawning over multi-millionaires whose only achievement was being born into the right family that is full of fucking wrong-uns and paedophiles and Nazi apologists. Pampered arseholes. Literally, they have a footman to wipe their arse for them at the taxpayers' expense. We hand over our hard-earned...
Alright, it's playing over. Alright, I'm not gonna go to the comments. Let me do the last one. Another LOL, this time with a dog. What was this about? Oh, there are so many videos of animals that popping up on my timeline. I literally spent time watching them. And here I am sharing them with you. There's one of them. Okay, when the neighbors arguing, there's the laugh here. Only 8 seconds. Look at the dog and the guy. There's no audio. Oh my God, the dog is into it. It's playing over. Okay, let's do a prayer. Oh my Lord. People with their dogs. Okay, so let's do a prayer. Prayer for what? Prayer for a prosper. Oh, this one is coming. Prosper new year. Let's see if there's something. Oh, there is. Okay, thank God for all you have. Father, I thank you for all the blessings in my life, and I appreciate the gift of another year to grow, learn, and prosper. Psalm 104. Seek guidance and wisdom. Lord, please grant me the wisdom to discernment to make the right year. Okay, Proverb 2:6. All right, so this is it. All right, so let's see here. I'm gonna refresh this page to see if anything changed. $332.30. I remember this, the estimate did not match from my other page. And 3,674. 332.30. Let's refresh and see what happened. 332.30, same. Let's go to the dashboard. Is it match? It did not match. Okay, so there are more people watching this video. I'm surprised. It's been there for almost a day, so now it's more people are watching. All right, so that is it. Thank you for watching. And there's a shift that's going on Twitter. So there's a part I will always, okay, as long as I have the time, I will always try to bring you the important information that legally, as I've been doing with PYTE in here, legally things like lawsuits or anything like that, if I come across them, I'll be more than happy to share it with you. If I see something the squad are discussing, I will share them with you. And then in the next couple weeks, I will try to focus more my energy on my shop. I have it, it's open, I just never review. I need to create some t-shirts and things like that, and hopefully you guys could support me, and that's way that is it. But I'm not gonna let you to sit. Thank you for your support, and let me know what you think about the two videos, part 1 and part 2 of the recap of 2023 of Harry and Meghan's work. All right, so that is it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness, and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.